Welcome back, Pipers. Back out in the garage. The heated garage. It is 10 degrees in northern Illinois this morning. We had some weather come through last night. We were getting wind gusts 60, 70 miles an hour. I have a cheap, but newer, but cheap shed out back. It took the brunt of the wind, so I get to kind of assess and deal with that today. In between packing, getting ready to leave tomorrow for Orlando. This is one of those situations where you're better off being ahead instead of behind. I am. But I digress. Smoking my Savinelli 122 Roma Lucite in it today. Capstan Blue, original Navy flake. I don't feel I have to go into too much detail with this blend. I think most people have smoked Capstan. This is more for those of you who have not had the pleasure of experiencing it, which you absolutely should. The only knock on Capstan, either gold or blue, is the price. It's pricey. But many who smoke them and keep them in their rotation will tell you it's worth it. I'm one of them. But I would love to see it go cheaper. So kind of comparing HH Pure Virginia to this yesterday, I'm going to kind of give you the few things that are different. It has more lights in it. Still see some darks, but there's more lights in the Capstan. You get more, you still get that fermentation kind of aroma to it, but you get more of the hay, grass, sweet breads when you really put your nose to this stuff. It smells so wonderful. And maybe a little bit of raisin. It's really, really amazing stuff. Being labeled a Navy flake, I also wonder if there is just a slight topping to this, like a rum or something. It kind of seems like it to me, but you won't find that anywhere, stated anywhere. So it's kind of up to your interpretation. That's just me being labeled Navy flake might not mean nothing. Just their way of categorizing the tobacco, the blend. On your initial light, you'll immediately get that sweet hay breadiness, almost, dark fruit fermentation, like pretty much what you get in the jar. This could very easily, if you could afford it, this could very easily be an everyday smoke. You could smoke this every day. Probably the only reason it isn't to a lot of people is the price, and some of the more experienced pipe smokers might get a little bored of this. It might just be too mellow for them to smoke all the time, which probably many of the Pure Virginias are for them. To maybe the exception of opening night. Like I said, that kind of has a little bit of a spiciness to it. So, some of the, I immediately had at least one person comment, "Oh no, I don't pick up any Perique in that." Well, it's, everybody's palate's different. Mine, and I'm by no means is my palate refined, more refined than the next person, but when it comes to smoking straight Virginias, I was picking that up immediately. Some spice to it, and that just should not be there in a pure Virginia blend. Mm. You don't get any spice in this. You just get pure sweet bread, maybe almost some honey. Um, it's just wonderfully uncomplex, but very enjoyable. If you didn't know already, Capstan Blue's been in my rotation for probably 3 years now, ever since I started smoking flake tobacco, started getting into the different types. And it'll continue to be, even regardless that it's more pricier than most, if not all, really. That's the one advantage that we can put in the HH Pure Virginia column. It is cheaper than Capstan, but comparable. I didn't give my rating of HH Pure Virginia yesterday. I definitely put it at least a 3 out of 4. This is probably a 3.25. Mm. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. So tomorrow morning, I will need to make my way over to the Rockford Airport. Never flew out of Rockford. Be my first time. I don't think it'll be a huge deal. It's a smaller airport. Not as hard to get around, find your way around. Looking forward to the warmer temperatures down in Orlando for sure. We got a cold snap coming through now, so I picked about the best time I think I could to go. It just worked out that way. So I'm seeing a few more suggestions for pure Virginias to try. I'll probably hop on Smoking Pipes, look for availability, all that. Grab a few of them. Hmm. I'm not quite sure just how big of a sample there is for just straight, pure Virginia smokers out there. I think it kind of seems, at least to my subs and people I associate with in the YTPC, it's not like, you know, they generally like other more complexity to their blends, whether it be, you know, vapors or vapors or English blends. Yeah, this stuff burns steady. You don't have to relight. It's not getting overly hot, and I'm actually smoking it pretty fast, faster than you probably should. It's just a well-behaved, very simple, delicious, reliable tobacco. Which is why I'm talking about it. So far, basically what I'm getting out of this series that I'm doing is you have certain pure Virginia blends that have a little more of the darker Virginias in them, and they bring you some of the more, I'd say, heartier components, more richer components, dark fruit, not quite as much sweetness. By one of them, I'm talking maybe like full Virginia flake, opening night, HH Pure Virginia. Possibly this is kind of in the Midland area. It's you get some of that raisin dark fruit, but it has a little more sweetness than those. And then you have like Peterson Flake, more light Virginias. It's like bread, hay, grass, citrus. I mean, that's kind of the two realms that I'm getting out of these pure Virginias, and they're both good. I mean, you can't go wrong with either one. It just depends. You know, I'm sure there's some smokers out here who prefer one over the other. When I try Capstan Gold, I've smoked that enough. That is more lighter, much more citrusy, natural Virginia sweetness. There's probably more lights, a lot more lights in that. So you can compare it more toward like Peterson Flake. But it's more pricier than Peterson Flake. So that's why Peterson Flake is going in my rotation. And it's going to stay there. So I hope everyone is enjoying this series that I thought would be a good idea to do on the channel. I'm glad I'm doing it. It's getting me more familiar with these blends. Hopefully it's getting some of you more enlightened on the differences and the similarities of some of these blends. And as always, if you're a fan of Capstan Blue, if there's things that you would like to add to what I'm covering, by all means, comment. Those are always welcome. If you have any kind of comparisons, any other blends that are similar to Capstan Blue, comment. I'd also be very interested in that. And I hope everyone enjoyed the video. And I'll probably make a video down in Florida while I'm down there. I'm going to try to. But as always, it's wonderful seeing everybody visit the channel. If you like the content, subscribe. Till next time, keep them lit.